Hi viewers, I'm Nadeem. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Welcome to the Farooq Academy. Today we will discuss chapter number 6, exercise 6B, book D1, number sequences. In question number 1, consider the following pattern. In your textbook you can see the pattern carefully, and in a part we have been asked that write down the fifth and sixth lines in the pattern. Fifth and sixth lines of the pattern. So the fifth line, uh, how can we write? That is your A part. So we can see that 1 plus 3 plus 5 plus 7 plus 9, it is given to us, but you can see the difference between these two numbers is 2 2, so the next one automatically it will be 11. So it will be after addition you will give 36. It is also given in your pattern. 36 can be written 6 6 are 36, 6 power 2. Similarly, in pattern you can see that if fifth line is, then fifth plus 1 1 is constant, so it means you can write as, so that is your fifth term or fifth line. Similarly, we have to write sixth line. So how can we write the sixth line? Sixth line, by the same pattern you can write the, that is 1 plus 3 plus 5 plus 7 plus 9 plus 11. So here is the fifth, so sixth line will be, so add 2 further, so you will get plus 13. So the next term is, that is it will give you 49. So 49 can be written because after addition you will get 49, so 7 7s are 49, and in next is 6 plus 1 square. So that is your required result. Similarly, in B part, if you see in the same question that we have to write the 11th line or 11th term. If we see the question in your textbook, that is write down the 11th line in the pattern. So 11th line, how can we write? We can say that 11th line, so that can be written as 1 plus 3 plus 5 plus 7 plus 9 plus 11 plus 13 plus 15 plus 17 plus 19 plus 21 plus 23. So you can say that that is your sixth line. So after sixth line you can add 2 more, so plus 15 give you 7th line, 8th line, 9th line, 10th line, so 11th line, but you need 11, so you have to up to 23. So again it will be equal to, by adding all these terms you will get 144. 144 can be written as 12 power 2, and further you can say by seeing the pattern, that is if fifth line, so 5 plus 1, if sixth line 6 plus 1, so here is the 11th line, so 11 plus 1 whole square. So that is your sequence of the 11th line. So coming to the C part of the same question, if we have been given that B is equal to 1 6 9, then we have to find the value of A, similarly the value of C and value of D. So if you see the pattern at the end, you can see here in your textbook, so we have to find the value of A, C, D. So as given that at the end of pattern, as given at the end of pattern, that is 1 plus 3 plus 5 plus dash 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 up to plus A is equal to B is equal to C square is equal to D plus 1 whole square. So it is given at the end of a given pattern in question number 1, you can see. So how can we find the value of A, C and D? So since first of all you have to consider that is b is equal to c square. First you have to consider these two steps, that is you have to consider, because both are equal, so b is equal to c square. Because b is given to us, that is 169, it is given to us, so putting the value, so c square, we need the value of c. What value you get? You get that is 169 under root. So the value of c is that is 13. So the value of c is 13. Similarly, since now you can consider the other two equation, that is c square is equal to d plus 1 whole square. So the value of c, because square square will be cancelled, so c is equal to d plus 1, that is your equation. But the value of c just you have calculated, you can see here, so that is your 13. So putting the values d plus 1, but you need the value of d, so shift here, you will get the value of d, that is 12. So the value of d is 12. Now you can see here, first you have considered the underlined equation, that is in red color. Now in further you have considered these two lines, which is these two equation, which is underlined as green one. So to distinguish, how can you consider? So the third one is because we have to find the value of c, d and a. Now we have to find the value of a. Since we are well familiar that a is equal to c plus d, so it is your general formula. If you see the Fibonacci sequences, in that sequence we know that the common difference and the constant term should be added, so you will get the first term a. So here it is your formula, that is a is equal to c plus d. Just you have calculated the value of c is 13 and the value of d is 12, so by adding, so the value of a is 25. So that is your required result. Now coming to the question number 2. In question number 2, read the statement in your textbook, that is consider the pattern. Once again you have been given a pattern in a part. Write down the sixth line in the pattern. So sixth line in the pattern, once again I would like to request that you have to see the pattern very much carefully, because without seeing the pattern you cannot judge. So sixth line will be, so here you can say, that is if I read the okay, you can see the in your textbook, that is fifth line is you should put here, because 2 is constant here, fifth square. So sixth line will be 6 square. So after simplification, 6 6 are 36 plus 2, that is 38. So that is your required result in A part. But in B part we have been asked that we have to find the value of x. Once again I would like to repeat my words. At the end of the pattern, it is given that 2 plus x square is equal to 66. So what is the value of x square? So 66 minus 2, you will get 64, that is your x square, but we need the value of x, so under root, so the value of x is 8. So the value of x is 8. 8 is your required result. You can see here, so 8 is your required result. Now coming to the question number 3. In question number 3, once again consider the pattern. The pattern is very much important. Once again you have to see the pattern, and you have been asked that you have to find the 10th line. So it means, how can you find the 10th line? So in question number 3, in A part we have to write the 10th line. So if we see the statement, so when we need the 9th line, here you can see 9th has been put it here. If we want to find the 10th line, so we have to put here 10th. So 10th is the we can say that it is consecutive of two numbers, that is 10 and 9, that is you can see in pattern, that is 2 1 3 2 4 3. So 10th line will be equal to, so you can see here in A part, 10 square minus 9 square is equal to 19. So 19 can be written as 10 plus 9, because in given pattern, if we see the initial 4 terms, you can see. So that's why that is with the help of given pattern we can say that is your required 10th line. Now coming to the B part. In B part we have to find out 498 square minus 597 square. So what is the value of this? So how can we find? Since by the given pattern at the right we conclude that if we see the given pattern in your textbook at the last, you can see at the right hand side you can judge that this is converted into plus, because the it will be equal to 590 that is it is your in textbook that is 5, sorry, 598 plus 597, because these are two consecutive numbers, 97 98. So it will give you the value of, after adding 1195 is your required result. Now in C part we have been asked that find the value of M and N. Since at the end of the given pattern, what is given? It is given that uh, that is M square minus N square is equal to 81. So that is equal to M plus N. So it is given. So it means that if I compare this, you can see here, if I compare it here, that is we can write therefore M plus N is equal to 81. So I have already told you that it is the consecutive whole numbers. It is the sum of two consecutive whole numbers. So consecutive whole numbers. So find out that number. After addition, you will get 81. So very simple. The M is 41 and N is 40. So by adding this, you will get 81. So it means consecutive numbers 40 and 41. So that's why we can say that therefore here M is equal to 41 and N is equal to 40. So that is your required result. Now the question which has been raising in our mind, that why I take 41 in initially our initial step then 40, because in your pattern highest term should be written first, that is 10 9 7 6, so 41 and 40. So that's why I have taken the greater value as a first, because the two consecutive number is the same. But the question is this, why I have not taken 40 first? Because in your given pattern not being taken highest lowest term first, so highest term will be taken first. So that's why I have already taken 41 as a first one. So that's why, that is the reason. So that is your required result. Now coming to the question number 4. In question number 4, once again same type of question, we have to find the 11th line. So in A part, the 11th line, we have to find 11th line. So once again, if in this question 11th line, if 10th line, you can see the pattern. So 11th line, 11 should be written first, multiply by 12, then the consecutive next one divided by 2, plus 11 once again you have to write, because we are going to calculate 11th line, minus 1, because in due to given pattern we have seen the initial pattern steps, then by the same methodology we repeat that steps like as in for case of 11th line. So we can write. Now the question is this, how can I get 166? Because 11 minus 1 you will get 10, 10 square 100, and after simplification 6 2s are 12, 6 multiply by 11, 66, so 166. So that is after the simplification you will get. So that is your required result. Now in B part, we have been asked that find the value of P, find the value of Q. So in given pattern at the end, you can see that since it is given that due to given condition, that is 110 by 2 plus P minus 1 whole square is equal to Q. So it is given. So once again how can I put the value of p here? So that's why that is a very much important step you should note here. First of all, you have to make two consecutive factors of it. For example, 110. So if I multiply 10 with 11, so you will get. So it should be very much careful that it is given to us 110. So I make the factors. So initially, the initial factor is always taken as smaller whole number. So smaller whole number is a p. It should be noted that smaller whole number is p. It should be noted that smaller whole number is p. Smaller whole number is equal to p. So that's why it should be noted. So that's why we have taken 10 as a p. So I have to write here. So this 10 should be written here. So you will get 10 multiplied by 11 divided by 2 plus 10 minus 1 whole square. You will get the value of q. So after simplification, you will get the value of q. That is what is the value of q? The value of q is 10 minus 1, 9, 9 square, 9 9s are 81 plus 55, that is 81 plus 55. And what is the value of q? What is the value of q? So you can say the value of q is, after simplification, you will get 136. So that is your result. 136 is your result. So the value of p is that is equal to 10, and the value of q is 136. So these two values should be calculated. So we have calculated. So now coming to the next part. So coming to the question number 5, you can see in question number 5, once again you have to see the given diagram in your textbook. That is, different types of triangles, small triangles and large triangles have been made, and we have been asked that we have to find the number of smaller triangle, and sometime how much smaller angles triangles can be found. So you can see the pattern are given, triangles are given, diagrams are given, figures. You should put more attention. That is question number 5, a part. We have to find the number sequence next one. That is how can I fill these two sequence unknown numbers of the sequence. So since shaded triangle, if you see the pattern in your diagram, that is, in first diagram you can see the triangle is increased by 3, and next sequence will be, so if one is, first term is 3, then common difference is 3, so it means in next triangle you can see in your textbook, so 3 is increased. So shaded triangles are increased by 3, so definitely it would be 9, and it would be then again plus 3, it would be 12. So very simple. So that is your required result if you see the shaded triangles in your textbook. Now how to solve the b part? We have to make the formula. That is, we have been asked that make a formula. If you read the statement, it is given that small n is equal to diagram number or figure number. So for example, that is your diagram number. That is your diagram number, and small t is represented by a number of shaded triangles. That is your shaded triangles. It means how can we find its formula? That is your, so it is clear from the figure, as when n is equal to 1, we can say that then the t is equal to 3. That is, number of shaded triangle is 3. If I see the first fig, that is, in first fig, that is the number of fig, that is figure number or the diagram number. If you see the first fig, when n is equal to 1, so you will get 3 shaded triangles, and when you see the diagram number 2, so you will get the shaded number of shaded triangles are 6. Similarly, when you see the third diagram, third fig, then the number of shaded triangle is 9. So it means that is the difference of 3 3. So how can you make the formula? So the relation between, because we have to make a formula, that is 3n, because n is the diagram number, because diagram is multiplied by 3, you will get the t, that is number of shaded triangles. So that is your required formula. So that is the result. Similarly, in C part, you can see in C part of the same question, in C part, part number 1, for diagram 50. Now we have been given that if we have a diagram of 50, so how can we find the shaded triangles, that is T, because T is shaded triangles. It means that is we have to find, that is T we have to find. Since we have a very simple formula, just we have calculated, that is T is equal to 3n. So the value of n is, that is for diagram we represented small n, that is n is equal to 50. So we have to put here 50 just, so multiply with 50, so T is equal to 150. So 150 is your result. Similarly, in second part, that is if it is given that if T is equal to 87, so what is the value of n? That is n is actually your diagram number. So since, once again, by the same methodology, since T is equal to 3n, we need the value of n, so T by 3. So you can divide, so the value of T is 87. So after division you will get 29. So n is equal to 29 is your required result. What is n? Diagram number, that is n is equal to 29 is your required result. Now coming to the question number 6. In question number 6, once again you have to see very much carefully, that is different type of diagrams are given to us. Given patterns very need too much attention. Question number 6. Now in question number 6, we see the diagram, that is in A part, and in A part we have been asked that find the unknown number, that is your sequence. So by the given triangle it is clear that sequence is once again you can see different type of triangles, but in this diagram not shaded triangles are given. So if we see the diagram, so it is clear that the sequence is just like, that is 4, then 9, then what should be here? So sequence will be n plus 1 square. So that is where n plus 1 whole square. So if we see the diagram here, but here we can see that in your textbook the number of diagram, let n denoted the figure number or diagram number. So we can use here a capital N, because specifically it is given in your textbook, that is n is the number of diagram or figure number. So the sequence is n plus 1, because if I put the in first diagram, we can see that here in first diagram there are 1 2 3 4 triangles. So if I put here that is 1, you can see 1 plus 1, you can get 2 square, you will get 4. It means 4 is when I put 1. When I put here 2, so 2 plus 1 you will get 3. So square, taking square, 3 3s are 9. So it means when I put here 3 plus 4, that is 5 5s are 25. So it means the sequence is very much clear. If we put 1, if we put 2, when we put 3, so you will get here 16. If I put 4, you will get here 25. So it means sequence is completed, so that is your required result. Now in B part we have been asked that we have to find the formula to make formula. So we have to find formula. So since in it is given that if you read this statement, that is capital N representing the figure number or diagram number, so that is your figure number, and T is your number of triangles, that is number of triangles. So these are very much important things. So when we put n is equal to 1, then T is equal to 4, because in first figure you can see in your textbook, when figure number is 1, that is, or diagram number 1, you can see 4 triangles. So similarly, when I put n is equal to 2 in second diagram, then number of triangles, that is T, we got 9. So similarly, when I put n is equal to 3, that is when I saw the figure number 3 in your textbook, then we have come to this conclusion that the number of small triangles are that is 16. So similarly, therefore, now the question is this: 4 can be written as 2 power 2, 9 can be written as 3 power 2, and 4 power 2. So it means, and further it can be written as 1 plus 1 whole square, because in your diagrammatically conception you can see, then 2 plus 1 square, because formula is n plus 1, we have already know this. So similarly, then 3 plus 1 whole square. So it means the formula which has been deduced from this given data, we have come to this conclusion. Once again, initially I have written here the n plus 1 whole square, so that is your required formula. So we have made the formula, that is your required result. So it means coming to the C part, uh, in C part, once again, uh, it is given that if you read the statement, that is n is equal to 9, we have to find the value of T. What is T? Number of triangles, where T is number of triangles, so number of triangles T, and n is diagram number or figure number, so that is your figure number. So we have to find T, but since we have a very much simple formula, that is T is equal to n plus 1 whole square, so putting the values you can find 9 plus 1 whole square, so n square, so it means the value of T is 100. So the number of triangles is 100, so it means 100 is your required result. That is your C part, but having one section. Similarly, if we would like to find the number of n, here in second part you can see that is C, but in second part it is given that, once again, you can read the statement very much carefully, because 50% solution is present in your statement. If you read the statement, so you can reach to the solution also. That is number of it is given that number of triangles, that is equal to represented by T, and which is equal to 1 to 1, it is given, and we have to find the n, which is known as figure number. So how much will be figure, so that is your figure number. So we can find easily, since we have a formula, that is T is equal to n plus 1 whole square, so we need the value of n, but the value of T is given to us, that is how much, that is 1 to 1, so n plus 1 whole square. So remove the n plus 1 square, so taking under root both sides, so you will get 1 to 1 under root, so 11. So n plus 1 is 11, so we need the value of n. So shift here, 11 minus 1, you will get the value of n, that is 10. So 10 is your value of n. What is n? N actually the figure number or diagram number. So that is your required result. So we have completed exercise 6b. I hope that it will be helpful to you, particularly in this examination session. I hope that it will be very much helpful to you. So thanks a lot. Thank you for watching.